That's right, you see a scuff, and of course you do see an Xbox Elite controller. Now, stepping up to the plate is the Razer Wolverine Ultimate Xbox One and Windows 10 gaming controller or competitive controller. This is probably one of the best controllers I've used in a while, next to the Elite and next to the Scuff, because that's what I mainly use. So I'm showing you a front view and a side view of the box, and of course I'm pretending to hold the controller. You do get the interchangeable thumbsticks, and in the box you do get the controller, the carrying case, the USB to micro USB cable, your tilting D-pad, and of course your removable thumbsticks. So let's go ahead and open this up as we are doing here, and see you have the hard shell case similar to the Xbox One Elite controller. You get a case, and of course Razer is always stepping their game up when it comes to the packaging. So let's go ahead and check out this USB cable. Now I do have to give you a disclaimer though. This controller is not wireless. If this controller is not connected to this cable, it ain't gonna work. That is the only con I have for this controller, that it has to be plugged in. But when you're playing competitive, being plugged in is better than being wirelessly, so which is pretty dope. So I'm not gonna complain about that. But many of y'all that like to play wirelessly, I don't recommend it, especially if you're not playing competitive. But although this is a best all-around controller, and of course with Razer you always get the braided cable, which is pretty awesome and pretty dope because the cable is really durable. Now we're opening the case, and voila, you have the Razer Wolverine Ultimate. Just holding it, pushing the buttons, the thumbsticks, everything feels amazing. In the case you get your extra D-pad and your thumbsticks. You get the small dome and the small concave. Well, you can call them a short if you want, and they are magnetic to replace the other one. Here you get the full D-pad. The other one's more like a 4-button D-pad, so you can switch them out however you want. Now let's go ahead and move on to the controller itself, and what I'm just showing you is where the RGB lights are going to be. You have your L trigger, your right bumper, left bumper. You have the M1, M2. So that's another cool feature. You get more buttons on the top. You have your triggers. You have your trigger stops. The trigger stops are on point. And the best thing about this controller is, if you download the Razer Synapse app on your Xbox One, there's like a million ways you can customize this controller. It's, like I said, it competes with the Xbox One Elite controller. It's up there with it, if not on top of it. But then again, Xbox One Elite is a little bit better than the Razer, and I have my reasons. But yeah, this controller feels great. It feels awesome. And of course, remove that film. And then I'm about to show you how you remove some of these thumbsticks and a D-pad. So of course, you have 4 buttons. It's kind of weird though, because you know, when you remove the one for the Elite or for your Scuff, you remove the rings, you remove the D-pad, and you see a little D-pad on the Xbox Elite. This one is just, you just see 4 buttons, something you don't see on most controllers. So another cool feature about this controller is when you're pressing the X, Y, A, and B buttons, it feels like you're pressing a mouse. I'll say it this way, this controller feels like you have a mouse in your hand, which is pretty dope. The buttons are not so laggy, so hard to press, so stubborn to push. Now, the grip on the other hand is pretty dope as well. It's kind of similar to the Xbox One Elite, but if you notice, there's like a little groove or edges right there where I'm holding it. When you put your palms in that controller, it feels nice and smooth. Now here I'm just showing you the RGB light. So yeah, like Razer and all their products, you get RGB. You can change them to wave, to breathe, to pulse, to lightning. Lower the speed, change the colors, turn it off, pretty much everything you do. Or just don't use it at all, period. And this is what I mentioned. You unplug that controller doesn't work. So pretty much this is just the unboxing of the Xbox One Windows 10 Ultimate Wolverine Ultimate Gaming Competitive Controller. And yeah, this is for Windows 10. That's another pro for this controller. Like I said, it's not wireless capable, but with everything else, it makes up for it. So if you enjoyed this video, if you think I should do a giveaway, or if you're picking up this controller, hit me up. I'm GT, signing out, and I'll see you guys and gals later. Adios.